go against the wall. 3, 2, boots up, eyes closed. Jodan in. Right. Hajime. Yame. So, Jodan ni. Right. Hajime. Yame. Boots up. Jodan in. Right. Hajime. Yame. Mukso. Jodan ni. Right. Hajime. Yame. Mukso. Geidan ichi. Right. Hajime. Yame. Neil, just lean against the wall, off the wall. Mukso. Geidan ni. Right. Hajime. Muso. Nikakiyuki Ichi. Break! Hajime. Yame. Muso. Nikakiyuki Ni. Break! Hajime. Yame. Muso. Mawashi Ichi. Break! Hajime. Yame. Muso. Mawashi Ni. Break! Hajime. Yamen. Musa, Congo, Daiichi. Break! Hajime. Yamen. Musa, Sanshin, Daiichi. Break! Hajime. Yamen. Musa, Yakisai, Daiichi. Break! Hajime. Yamen. Musa, Yakisai, Daiichi. Break! Hajime. Yame. Cai de bawah. Bagi kiri. Muso. Gekisai Daisan. Break. Hajime. Yame. Muso. Sanshi Daide. Break. Hajime. Yame. Muso. Cypher. Break. Hajime. Yame. Muso. Tensho Daiichi. Break. Hajime. Yame. Now, Kyoshi get the shion. You guys get your pads on for E-Pods. Everyone else, get your pads on. You're doing knee day, start stretching.
That's the camera good? The angle looks good. I'm sure when you're editing, you can zoom in into that.
Skate! 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 Skate!
5.
Skate! Skate!
7.
Skate! 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 Go! Do it again. Skate!
11. Open up.
Go! Skate!
Up. Up. Let's go. Back out of Kyoshi. Shihan. And side. 3. Let's go. Let's go. Back Kyoshi. Shihan. Upon. See this vision drop back.
Skate! Skate! Skate!
4.
Go! Skate!
6.
Skate! 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 Skate!
Yes. 3.
Go! Skate! Skate!
Side there, blind.
Fight! Skate!
2.
Skate! Skate!
Go.
Skate!
Six, three,
Yummy. Bow out to each other. You're out. Bow to each other. Back up. Come on. What do you mean? Yummy, back to the center. Bow out to each other. You're out. Stay, come on. Stop, straight. That's one. Bow to each other. Come on. What do you mean? Yummy, back to the center. You gotta work. Come on. You gotta work. Come on, how do you mean? Yummy, back to the center. Bow out to each other.
One more.
One more. You're out.
Mr. Fisher now.
Mr. Face down.
Scott.
Stop.
And then after this, Scott.
Bow to each other. Come on. What do you mean? Yummy. Back to the center. Bow out to each other. You're out. There you go. Good. Turn your back now. You stay just like that. Back up. Back up more. Back up more. There you go. Back up more. Bow to each other. Come on. What do you mean? Watch the head. Yummy.
Rich.
Bow out to each other. Bow out to Yoshi. You're out. Let's go. Bow to each other. Come on. What do you mean? Yummy. Mine? What do you mean? Work, Scott. Not Scott. Yummy. Bow to each other. Lose control. You're out. There you go. Push. Bow to each other. Come on. What do you mean?
Scott, let's go. Gotta work him, Brooks.
Yummy. Back to the center. Switch. Bow out to each other. You're out. No, you're out. Bow to each other. Come on. Heavyweight. Yummy. Come on. Hajime. Yes, guys. Yummy. Bow to each other. Dr. Joshi. Yeah.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about what we saw and then give a little advice for everybody. So I'm glad people came to not only support the Dojo Brothers, but possibly to learn something, which is always important. I'm going to tell you a couple things I liked. I'm going to give you again some general stuff. I'm not going to tell you that you passed or failed with that machine on. You guys did make EPON mistakes within your ranks, and I like that. I like mistakes. I like to see, are you going to pull yourself together and move forward? And Matt showing that emotion on his face, I'm like, all right, good. It'll be a good test. Is it going to bother him, or is he going to get through? Well, in that aspect, I'm glad you made a mistake. So the Shion of those mistakes and kept you from passing. So we're going to let the suspense build a little, Mr. Grossman. Yes. But in general, I'm going to give all of you a little advice. What are we coming on? It'll be 50 years in a couple of years. Right?
Yes, 2 years.
So I've been doing it almost 50 years. Now, I got to experience a lot. If I ever looked at my exams, I'm totally embarrassed. Even my sound exam, totally embarrassed. There's this tipping point where when you're young, you have strength and stamina to the best of your physical ability. I have a medical condition, but still my stamina was better when I was younger. Then it gets a point, where you're not as flexible, your stamina isn't there, but you become smarter. And you become better upstairs. So there's that little sweet spot. It's really hard to get to. So it's good that I did it as young as I did, but it was terrible because I didn't understand what I was doing. I was just throwing blocks, throwing punches. I was not nearly mentally mature enough to really understand what I should have done. And then you get to the point where you're mentally mature enough to understand this is how to do it, and the body sometimes doesn't cooperate with you. Or at my point, I ranked out. There's no more ranks, so now that I'm mentally there, nowhere to go. But if Zoku, when he created this, if he would have said, you know what, we're all going to learn white belt, we're going to learn green belt, that's it. That's it. I would have been incredibly content with where my mindset is now. Because I know just the information from white to green, I'll never perfect it, ever. I can do it okay. I don't even think it's good, personally. So some people, unfortunately, have misguided goals. I want to be a great fighter, or I want to be a black belt. If those are your goals, you're never going to be great. You can be good, but you're never going to be great. If your goal is, I want to perfect the form I'm taught, and you really dedicate yourself, then you can be really good. And we always just talk about, I lived with the man. I didn't appreciate and respect his intelligence as much as I should have. Everything's so good, it's just so damn smart. Even with just naming the organization, striving for perfection, that's what it's about. And that's why if I said, all right, we're never going past white belt again, that's it. We'll never perfect it. We can strive for that perfection, but we're never going to perfect it. We can always watch videos and go, there's a mistake, it's impossible. But that's what he wanted from all of it, to just try to perfect the form. try to perfect it at a low rank because he knew if the form is there, the technique is going to follow. And that's what I tell you. You say, I want to be a great fighter, and that's your mindset. You can get good, but you're never going to get great. If you say, I want to perfect this blocking system, I want to perfect how to throw my punch, there's an instinctual confidence you'll have that'll make you an exceptional fighter. So it's all stepping stones, but it starts with form. It's something I tell you guys all the time. If you can't do it perfect slow, you'll never be able to do it perfect fast. You have to practice it slow. One thing I mentioned to the back room, when you practice it, literally look in the mirror or literally imagine you're a photographer that every step you do is being photographed. Is every single step correct? Is it as perfect as you can do? Is there always a load when you're done? Where's the height? Is it correct? Is there a hip flex? Are my toes and heels out? There is so much going on from head to toe. That's why it's I'm not going to say impossible, but again, it's hard to perfect it all when you do it fast. You can do it perfect slow if you have patience, you have the mindset of what you're trying to accomplish. Doing it perfectly fast is so darn hard. So now you have the respiratory system kicking in, you have nerves kicking in. It's a lot going on. But when you guys practice, you have to do it as perfect as you can, slow. Even Zoku, there's a picture in my little home office. No, she had noticed a picture of Zoku and his brother practicing. It's on the website too. His practice space was smaller than his right hand. But there it's right. Come with a one big compartment. Three brothers and father. It's all he had. So he told him, you guys see him all the way into the dresser. Maybe do one block in one punch, and he hit the dresser. Then shoot this way. And it was just literally one or two techniques at a time. Because he couldn't do a full counter, he had the luxury. That probably helped make him exceptional. So he focused on each technique one at a time. Didn't think of the whole time. So when you practice, just slow it down. We'll talk a little bit about, don't focus on power. If you focus on your form and you get the form down, just add speed to the form and the power comes on its own. If you focus on power, your form falls apart. Slow it down, try to perfect each little thing you're doing. So again, Gian will tell you overall, that you did the whole exam, but when I saw things were looking good, for your confidence. We'll talk about that. Form was good, and the pace was a little off at the beginning. I think you were nervous, definitely too fast. A little bit of too much of a concentration on the form, on power, causing the form to sacrifice. If you saw the pictures, you'll break it down. This isn't a Zenkutsu. This is a Zenkutsu. This isn't an elbow strike. This is an elbow strike. So little things start to sacrifice when you're going for too much power. Again, that comes with mental maturity. When you're young, give me a cut. But as you start to really understand what's going on, mindset changes. I'm telling you, the best fighters are the best fighters. Period. So, for all of you, gotta practice the bowl. These guys can do the bowl. And on the back of your manual, if you ever looked at what your diplomas actually translate to, one of them says repetition is the bowl, and perfection is the goal. So maybe the bowl, but it's the repetition of doing it over, 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 over. And that you have to do on your own. If you're practicing too fast, you're putting all the cracks in the mold they gave you, it's never going to hold up. So practice it as perfect as you can. It's my advice to you. Have that mindset. What is the goal here? Not to be a black belt. Again, it's just me, it's irrelevant. I don't care. I swear to you, I don't know what rank I am. I think I know, but I don't know. Every time I'm back with my youth, I don't know what's going on. It just doesn't matter. It's trying to get everything as best as I can do. That's my focus. Now it comes to the teaching. I want to teach you the best I can when I teach. When I do the technique, I want that technique as good as I can. So, she had the cool picture of the last day. When we saw the ad on social media, I threw flying sidekick and Zoko was in front of me. And I had 3 people ask me if I had a copy. And the reason I hated it is because my kid wasn't perfect in points. But it just depends what it is. Zoko is 6'4" in its heyday. Maybe 6 feet when we took that picture. And this guy, it's photographer, paper drop. So I had to just stand there and leap in the air and throw a flying sidekick. I couldn't run. I had to do it from a standing position. And most people that do flying sidekick, and you can't get the bottom leg right, and you can't get the front leg right. And my legs look really good, but to get the height that I can hit his nose, I had to lift my elbow. That was the only way I could generate that height. I had to come up. If you notice that picture, my elbow's up. Man, this is good. When I told this guy, he goes, take a photo. And I said, no, it makes me want to get better at it. Unfortunately, I ripped both my meniscuses that are jumping days are over. But those are things that you buy. Man, it's not perfect. What can I do to make it better? And my leg's good. This arm was good, actually. It was my left arm. I came with that, just to generate the height. So it was a few inches shorter, my arm would have been great. But that's the mindset, okay? So when you do your exams, or you watch these videos, look at it with those kind of eyes. So when we're taking notes, we're like, for Greenville, doing a good kata, for Prope's doing a good kata, but let's rip it apart anyway. And that's what we have to do. We have to really rip it apart, like I ripped that kid apart, And Zoko, the last second, if you look at that picture, he did this. Because I went right at his nose. And in the picture, you can see his head tip and kicking right here. Well, you got to look at those pictures and look at your videos and say, yeah, this chamber's too low. I'm leaning forward here. Man, I've got a good toes in on my sunshine on my back foot, but not my front foot. Hip flex could have been a lot better. So those are the little things, and I'm telling you now, you're never, ever, ever going to correct those things if you practice half speed, full speed. You just can't. It takes repetition over and over and over, doing it the right way. Then instinctually it just happens. I always tell the story, I can't tell you how many times I've seen this guy in that back room just working that block. And we know you put the work in and the results Xi'an got from that. And Xi'an as well. The repetition is the next. Okay? So take your time, take the mold that all your teachers give you, and then put the repetition in the mold. Okay?
By a show of hands, how many folks have seen Cobra Kai? So, just about everybody?
I have not.
You have not? Okay, so interesting fact, the last season you may have seen Mike Barnes, the karate bad boy. Well, Kyoshi was actually runner-up for that role, but as it turns out, I don't mean to embarrass him on this, but as it turns out, he was extremely muscular, and he didn't want him next to Daniel, who was paper thin, especially as a kid. You could see he's scrawny. So he ended up losing it to Mike Barnes, who was more of a thin person, although he saw him in the last season. He definitely put on a lot of weight, but it was pretty interesting to see that. So I don't know why I thought that maybe he's a sidekick. They're going to get a good stance to take what do they call that? Audition. All right, so what I normally do is I talk about, as a whole, who passed or failed. I'm not going to do that tonight. So what I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about, overall how you guys did, mindset and everything like that. I mean, the purpose of the dojo is not to make you into a UFC champion. It's not to make you into a karate superstar. It's to make you the best that you can be. And each one of us has different levels. Some of us wrestled, some play baseball, some play football. Some of us just sat in front of a couch and played video games. All right, I know Richard, you play an instrument. So we all have different levels. But when you come in here, you're basically learning something new that you can't learn in school. It's not anything that you're born with. It's a new skill. And what we're trying to do is just make you the best version of yourself. And then when you test it here, you do not go up for an exam in this dojo unless we collectively feel that you're ready for your next rank. So I'm not going up saying, oh God, please let it pass. But when it comes time to go up to the exam, it's whether you show up or not. It's kind of like you ever watch Super Bowl or World Series, and you're like, wow, that team made the Super Bowl, they were horrible in that Super Bowl. And the answer is not because they weren't great, not because they didn't practice, but they didn't show up for the game. And sometimes you don't show up for the exam, and sometimes you do. Now, the goal here is that each exam, and again, Zoko being as brilliant as he is, each exam gets harder and harder and harder, right? You go up for green, you have a certain amount of katas, and you do epons, and then green belt to purple, katas, epons, nakamite, purple belt, you saw Matt bowed out, and Scott had to do more katas, and so on and so forth. But what happens is you hit a wall, okay? So you can practice as much as you want. We're gonna put you to that wall. At some point, you're gonna hit the wall in the exam, and then you have a choice. You either, say, you know what, I had enough, I can't continue, or you dig deep, and you basically push yourself through the exam, all right? And that's really what we're looking for, is not does you know the material. Of course you know the material, you want to be out here, all right? It's can you perform that material under extreme duress? Can you do when you have all the higher instructors basically grading you in every move? And can you mentally get through the exam? Because Zoko used to say it was 3 parts. It was the physical, the mental, and the spirit. And what happens is when you start to get tired, just like in any sport, you start to make mistakes. All right? You ever watch a football game, later in the game, guys drop passes. And when you look at each other like, I was in 8th grade, I could have caught that ball. But they make drops because they're exhausted. Then you get through that, and then you literally have nothing left in your tank, and that's when your spirit takes over. Right? That's when you're saying to yourself, no matter what, I am not giving up. And that's what we're trying to develop. We're trying to develop the best out of each one of you. All right? I can tell you with confidence that when I look around at these upper belts, one phone call to any one of them, and from any one of them, I would have help, and I would actually help any one of them. All right? Why? Because we're in the trenches together. We're pushing ourselves, and we're doing it together. All right? And that creates a brotherhood. And as you come up through the ranks, you feel it more and more. All right? So, Matt, I'm going to start with you. There are certain people over the years that when they don't join a dojo, they change the dojo in some ways. So I become that person, right? I was right in the middle of the pack. I remember when Shia joined the dojo, it was exciting, right? We got a professional boxer in the dojo, but he instantly became a leader in his group. I remember the black belt he came up through the ranks with, and it was interesting to watch because I was because he had trained me back. I remember coming up through the ranks, I'm like, who is this guy? But everybody looked at him, and he became that guy that basically everybody rallied behind. He got everybody excited. He was always there. He always was there. That's been you. You joined. I remember you emailing me before the dojo opened. And that's the kind of guy that can't just, hey, you guys know everything about him. He wanted to know about me. He wanted to know about Sean. He wanted to know about Zoku. And then we found out that he was in the same gym as Yoshi. He had a million questions about Yoshi. Like, he's the kind of guy that has to know everything. But Matt, you proved yourself to be a leader amongst all the guys that started and the guys' kids that started at the green belt rank. All right, and I expect to see that continue as you go up through the ranks. Now, yes, another day we'll talk about the mistakes that have been made, but going from green belt to purple belt, you're allowed to make some mistakes. All right, we talk about this all the time, right? The mistakes narrow. You can make this much going for green, purple, brown, black, right? So the reality is, You hit that wall, you performed everything properly, and I couldn't be prouder to vote you to Purple Belt tonight, fourth year. So let's give it some. Scott, when did I meet you? Did you actually film 2013 when Sophie had to put on the 2012? Yeah, it was 2012. Is that the first time? So, you know, I joke around, but Senpai Feijman has a little kingdom that he's kind of built over the last few years. And he's got his son-in-laws, right? You have it's two son-in-laws and a son, right? I got that right? And I met Scott when he was doing a lot of the filming and taking photography for Sophie when he created books. And when, you know, we've done a number of events over the years. So Scott has been on the outside watching it, all right? Now, Mr. Feijman, I don't know, you started, how come you didn't start when you started?
Can't tell him what to do,
All right, I'm gonna have to ask your wife then, because I know that the wives can tell the husbands what to do, right, Stephanie? No. So Scott's been around for a while, and he decided to take a break out of. Have you ever played any sports, Scott? What'd you play? What'd you play?
Baseball now.
Baseball and hockey, okay. I can't imagine you want to play, but that's pretty cool. No, I'm just kidding. But the reality is Scott came in, and he was part of the dojo even before he joined. Whenever we needed Scott, Scott was available, he was always there, and as he came in, he basically said, you know what, I have an upper belt, I don't know if you were a black belt then, but I have an upper belt for a brother-in-law, my father-in-law, I have friends, and he basically started at the bottom, and he took his licks. I'm telling you, I've watched Scott take his licks. Sometimes I wonder, Senpai likes Scott. But there is a question about that. But Scott is the kind of guy that is willing to put his ego aside whenever it comes to training, all right? He's always like, how can I do this better, right? And that takes a certain kind of person, because when you walk through that door, you know, Sophie used to say, you have to empty your cup. You have to basically say, no matter what I've learned, what my perceptions are, I am going to put that aside, and I am going to trust the process. And I can promise you, anyone that has trusted the process, you know, just look on this group over here, you can see that those that have submitted to it, it's actually worth it again. We're asking you to trust us, and Scott's done that over the years, all right? And, you know, going back to where I was talking about earlier, you know, Scott happens to be not just a great karateka, but a great person. I mean, he's helped with the website, he's helped with the social media, with the ads. He's the one who helped with that picture. I don't know why, I didn't know that until tonight, but, so, you know.
I like my elbow.
Okay, you don't like the elbow, so maybe we can get that book.
No,
I'm just teasing.
to remind him.
I'm just teasing. But, you know, Scott's had a little bit of a harder path, you know, being sort of, you know, underneath the black belts. I mean, if we look back at the last 2 years, especially during COVID, it was all the black belts and Scott, right? He even took the exam during COVID, right? He took it in, you're done, basically. And look, I have to say that it's a pleasure having you in class. It really is, because you come in and you're ready to work, all right? You also have to be a good guy. You always want to help. Shion, what can I do to help? And I have to say, it's awesome. And when I really look around this room, I know a lot of people aren't here tonight, but I think we have a great group of people in this dojo. I really do. I feel like, you know, Richard, you returned back after, what, 30 years? I mean, you get that same feeling, that same spirit when you come here? Okay, so, and that's great to hear, and I know you do, and I know how it's great having your son here and your nephew, but it's great when we have family in here, all right? We have Senpai Feijman, we have, you know, son-in-law, and maybe one day his daughter-in-law. We'll have to, you know, see how that shakes out. No, never happened. She doesn't want to bow. Is that what it is? Oh, you wouldn't want that? You'd have to stay home when she was here. But at the end of the day, Scott, you hit that wall early, all right? And I told you that no matter how much you train, when you get here, you're going to hit that wall early. And I was a little concerned personally, right? But Scott worked his way through that. If you notice, he got a second win, all right? I know Sanchin Kati's helped. He made his way through Epons, and then he made his way through Kamite. And I can tell you that we weren't going to stop. I mean, Kyoshi would not let that stop until we knew that Scott had hit that wall and gone past that, because that's what we want to see at you. All right, and every one of us has different heights of that wall, right? Depending on the kind of shape we're in and how we take that exam. Scott, you did everything you needed to do. You did very well. You, as of a couple of seconds, you're going to be an upper belt in this dojo. And remember, with that comes a lot of responsibility. All right, we do take being an upper belt very seriously. I hope you continue to train for a very long time. And, you know, we have a lot to talk about, but I think at the end of the day, you have a nice path ahead of you in this dojo. So it's here for Scott. As he walks around, I'm going to make one more mention. One of the things that was special from Senpai Feijerman was to actually take his own brown belt, which I think, when did you make black belt? 88 that you made it? Okay, 88. So he wore his brown belt, probably from, I've had to guess, 86 to 88, if I have to take an approximation. So that belt is 34 years old, right? Am I not right? He's actually giving that belt to Scott tonight. So I think that that's absolutely wonderful. You have to understand, belts are something that, even though, like Kyoshi said, we're not focused on belts, when you have old belts, there's nothing better than giving it to someone you care about. I mean, I was in Kyoshi's house and he showed me the original belt that's over in my house. It's been back in 21. Yeah.
One I wear every day is from Zuko.
Yes.
He only wanted me and my brother to wear his belt.
And that's incredibly meaningful. I remember, I think Shion, you had gotten a special belt, so you know, so jealous. I still am, but we won't talk about that. Everybody on your feet. Guys, I hope in the back row, you see what's to come for you guys. All right, it's exciting to be out there. It's exciting to get ahead, but it all starts in here. The heavy training you put in here manifests into an exam, all right? All right, so right from here, let's bow to the black belts. Down out. Down out to senpais. We're going to take it down the line. Down out. Down out to senseis. Down out to Renji. Down out to myself, actually. Down out here. Down out to Shion Walsh. Before we bow to Kyoshi, after we bow to Zoku, we're going to take our customary picture. All right? Down to Kyoshi. And down to Zoku. All right. Congratulations. Get your belt on. Good job.